like at the moment.
How do you do that? I can only read one book at a time.
That's excellent by Solar.
You left the frame.
Oh, man. Great player intros here at the Homestory Cup. And our first match is finally underway as we see our blue Protoss player spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner of a map that I don't know the name of. And his name is, of course, Stats. What is this map?
It is Thunderbird.
Thunderbird Ladder Edition. And in the top left-hand corner, his opponent, the red Zerg player, it is Solar. So what do we expect here, guys? How does this map play out, PVZ? What do we think these two guys are going to be doing?
Well, this is kind of a turtley map where you can take 3 bases really, really fast. It was really dominated by Swarmhost and Nidus, that type of play, previous to this patch, but obviously that is not as strong anymore. What I'm really interested in is to see if Stats is going to try this speed Void Race stuff again.
Yeah. I kind of like, like when there is a patch, in this case, we're playing on the PTR. Some players, they look at the patch notes and they start putting 2+2 together. They're like, we're going to try this, we're going to try this. And in this case, what we saw from Stats previously when he played against Sue in the group stage was that he opened with 4 to 5 Void Race so that he could be mobile and be aggressive with them, while transitioning into carriers. I think that's very smart. Like, to add Flux Veins, obviously, to have a lot of mobility and kind of keep the Zerg pinned at home. But Sue reacted perfectly, went for a counter siege with the Lurkers, which I think Stats reacted to a little bit late.
Yeah.
And he was just killed before he could really do anything.
Well, he
Carriers
lost,
weren't out in big numbers yet.
Yeah, he felt like if he had recalled back, that would have been a really interesting game.
Yeah.
Because it felt like, in fact, he might have been in a lead because I think he would have saved his third. But
he didn't have the energy because he was chrono boosting his targets forever.
Maybe, yeah.
Because it takes 3 years to make a carrier, so.
Cybercore
It wasn't an interesting game then.
Cybercore just finishing up there for Stats. We see 3 bases down for our Zerg player. First Lings on the way. Zergling speed started pretty standard, slow macro opening, like Dan said we should expect.
How does it feel to be casting StarCraft?
It feels really good, guys. Like I've been, y'all know I've been talking to you about it. Like, I want to do more of this. It
feels right to have you here.
Thank you, Dan.
To be honest. This is actually the game that you belong in. Just FYI.
I appreciate you more than you know. Hey, thank you, Mapu.
You're all right.
Thank you, y'all. That's as close as it gets to a compliment from Todd. What are these 2 drones doing?
Oh, he's going to mine out?
Yeah.
Yeah, run through the minerals?
The back door.
Oh, little
Smart
cheeky,
play.
sneaky play here
Back
from
door
Solar. Zergling Speed's going to finish up, and we've got more Lings on the way, so this is a very aggressive opening. We see one Adept getting pulled back to the main base, the Protoss player, so maybe Stats has sniffed this out a little bit?
Yeah, it's been becoming more and more common.
Oh, yeah, look at this. The Adept's coming down, but it's going to be a little bit too late.
No, it's not. Oh, my God.
Wow.
No! You had one job.
Adept's going to make his way back as we see our Protoss player trying to wall in, successfully walling in. So this will stop, or at least thwart the aggression with the Stalker and an Adept behind that wall. Man, words are hard.
Hey, you can't kill the core, maybe?
No, I don't think he can kill anything.
Break through.
Well, he just made some. He's making Lings still, so he's going to try.
Yeah.
Oh, he turned on the Oracle. Why are you turning on that Oracle? Keep that Oracle off. Bank that energy.
More Lings across the map, and more Lings in production. So he is going to actually commit to this attack, targeting a pylon.
There's no way to...
Oh, can he kill the Cybercore before the upgrade finishes?
I think he's going to, actually.
11 seconds.
No, he's going to get it.
No.
Hold on. Watch.
Chrono Boost! No,
Chrono Boost is broken. What the hell?
Nerf Protoss.
Oh, he needs to rewall behind the shield battery. Oh my God! If he had attacked the shield battery, he would have gotten through. But there's not that many Lings left, to be honest.
He's gonna hold. He's gonna hold.
Yeah, he's switching into drones now too. So I guess this is just about over.
So I think the question though becomes is this has Solar actually done any damage here, or is this all just kind of wasted and he's way behind?
Oh yeah, he's forced a lot of resources.
Yeah.
But the worker count is usually what's important. 39 to 23, Solar is screwed.
Just like that.
Yeah, he's still trying pretty hard there, but I mean, there was no way to break that at that point.
Not with that attitude.
You know what? You're right. He should just right-click on these buildings, lose all his
positivity, the power of positivity.
Yeah, the power of positive thinking. That's the last thing that Todd is going to teach.
Seriously, that's Todd advice. If I've ever heard Todd advice. Come on. Lynx continuing to poke around at the front here. Protoss stuck behind the wall, at least for the time being, but safely macroing up, and looks like teching up behind it. Robo we see finishing up.
Yeah, I wonder if he's just going to get aggressive behind this with that Robo. No.
Forge, Twilight Council.
Some standard play coming out of stats.
He's just
Well, I think that's kind of a cool thing about the new patch, too. Protosses are not really afraid of going to the late game. In fact, some people are thinking it might even be a little bit better for Protoss right now.
Yeah, we saw Showtime versus Serral yesterday.
Yeah, that was good
showcasing
stuff.
a little of that.
These oracles feel really scary all of a sudden. There's only a spore crawler in each base. 3 queens have died already. A couple of drones are also going to go down. So we'll call this effective counter harass, losing one of those oracles.
Yeah. Any drones that he can kill while already being ahead on the walker count
God,
here
he's
is
so
amazing
far
for
ahead.
stats. Because tech-wise, like Solar's doing a good job kind of keeping up and droning back up here from this. He's on 43 against 45, and we see a lot of drones in the production tab, but it means he's neglecting his tech. And also even his gas income is like pretty low right now.
Oh my god. So is that a faster 4th for the Protoss player? So he's got better eco, better tech, better
Yeah.
army?
Yeah, better everything.
That's a bad day for Solar.
Solar is mining from 1 gas, to put this in perspective. So Stats is mining from 4. That's insane.
Yeah, it's looking a bit rough, but I guess this is what happens when you pull 2 drones to mine out a mineral path and then go mass slings to try to kill your opponent.
Yes, especially when you're so handily thwarted. Solar sitting back, continuing to add more drones. Yeah, he's still droning up. At what point does Stats just walk across the map and win? Is he gonna go all the way to 200 supply before he attacks?
No, I think he's going to start to get a little bit more aggressive as +1 and charge finish up. You don't have that impact damage from charge anymore, so the +1 is actually much more important when you're fighting against slings and whatnot.
And you know what's funny? He doesn't need to actually walk across the map. He can just swap in units there and maybe even just win with those. But yeah, I guess Immortal going to be important. And army-wise, it's going to look so scary. He already has 50 army supply to 20.
This is ridiculous. This
I think he's just going to run him over.
I just feel bad.
The attack move is going to be brutal here.
Feels bad, man.
It does. Yeah, it does. This is an unstoppable Protoss force moving out across the map. Warp Prisms and Oracles also still in play. Upgrades finishing up. This will probably be a game ender.
I love how Solar starts an Infestation Pit as well. Somehow he found the confidence.
We're going high, baby.
Like positive thinking right there.
Positive thinking, there it is. We're going to see how that works out for him now.
Coach Todd. Solar sees it coming. He's scouting around with these lings. Maybe he can slow it down with a run by, but there's no way. Stats is just going to march.
I feel like there is just, how would you ever stop this Protoss army with that little tiny amount of units?
Hope and a prayer, Dan.
Positive thinking.
Positive thinking. Let's see.
Here we go.
See
Here
how well that
comes
works.
the attack. Couple of Ravagers at the top of the ramp. A few Queens, but this is just not going to be enough. Archon's stuck in the back, so that's kind of a bonus. But Ling run by. Oracle's not getting utilized, but it doesn't matter. Solar knows what's up. He taps out. And Stats with a good defense handily takes game number 1 in this best-of-5 set on day number 3 of Homestory Cup.
Yeah, kind of.
Can we keep an eye on the chat? I'm sure somebody's going to ask, why did he leave so early?
He still had a Ravager.
Seen so many times.
Oh, Johan, you're so happy.
Of course I'm happy. I'm always happy.
You're just my favorite human.
Mine too, actually. He's just great.
I get to hang out.
Human player in Warcraft 3, right?
I get to hang out with Todd a few times a year, and it's always special because we get together and he just tells me everything I'm doing wrong in life that I need to change to better myself.
And then he says he's going to do it, and he shows up next event and does other stuff 10 times worse.
But he fixed the stuff that you said, so, I mean,
Well,
you're a great life coach.
It's about the journey, right? It's progress.
That's right.
One step forward, one
Eventually
step
you'll have
back.
everything fixed. So
We'll get there. We'll get there, boys.
So we're going to be going into game number 2 just momentarily here.
It's a best of 5. That's the big difference here. That's why you can try stuff like this here if you're Solar, and it's less impactful than if it was best of 3, where Stats would already be on match points. Now, obviously, Solar can still play normal games from there and then, try to win the normal way. But
Is that a map that's pretty hard for Zerg, do we think? Like, it felt strange to me to run across the map with a bunch of slowlings and try to...
Yeah.
it's not really predefined yet because we don't know exactly
we're still figuring it out.
where the matchup stands in the new patch.
Yeah.
And like I said, or like we mentioned earlier, yesterday we saw a late game PvZ with Protoss look pretty good in it. So I don't know that's what changes everything, right? Who does better in the mid? Who does better in the late game? If the answer is Protoss, then Zergs are going to want to get more aggressive than they were getting before, because they were the ones that had the advantage in the late game before.
Well, but I mean, like, it just seemed like such an easy defense. Like, what kind of early game?
Oh yeah, that was just
I
a
think
cheese.
it speaks to. I think Solar probably is afraid of stats in the late game right now because Zerg doesn't fully have figured out what they want to do against carriers right now. So I think he's probably like, oh, Thunderbird, that's the most macro-intensive map. Let's just cheese.
And also, Stat's a beast. Like, you know, there was a little bit of trap hype in there for a little bit, and you know, I'm all for it. But Stats, he's still the shield of fire. He's still one of the absolute best out there. I think a lot of these players, they really respect him.
Game number 2, guys, and this time we are on
World of Sleepers.
World of
Terrible,
Sleepers. I'm trying to like read the map name. I promise, guys, I'll get better. Bottom left-hand corner, we have our blue Protoss player. His name is Stats. Stats is up 1-0 in this series.
Is that the NASL intro style?
Well, you know, we're dusting it off. You know, it's a little rusty. His opponent in the top right-hand corner, the red Zerg player, trailing 0-1 in the series. His name is Solar. Fast gas for Solar. Gas before pool.
Yeah, a little bit normal. I wonder if he's going to... I guess he'll probably just take that third base with the gas. A lot of people think that this is quite a Zerg map. But again, new patch. See how that goes down.
Ben, do you ever reminisce of these days? Like when you were casting with Roddy, you know, whether it was like in Germany or something, or in Rancho Cucamonga, the greatest city on earth.
Ranch, cocoa, mango, banana.
You ever reminisce of like these times, and you're like, yeah, these were the times. Like we were just having a lot of fun and stuff.
I think the NASL days were kind of the glory days. Like that was a pretty special time in StarCraft and in esports, and it was a really talented group of people who've all kind of gone on to do great work in esports.
Yeah, Gritorp and Froden as well.
It was the beginning for all of us. It was like peak passion, peak working hard, and like also like peak.
Yeah, what happened?
What did happen? We all got old and tired and fat. Except for Frodan, who's like ripped and just killing it.
Oh, I know. But have you seen the suits he wears?
Yeah.
His shiny dragon scale suit from BlizzCon.
Oh, yeah.
Which is legendary. I love Frodan.
No, those were good days.
They were.
days.
They were.
Stargate on the way here for Stats. Still a very solid build. Like historically, this has been the most solid and best build, I would say, against Zerg.
Yeah.
Open Stargate. And I mean, once upon a time, it was a lot about the Phoenixes, and Oracles got introduced. Now you see them more. How about some Void Rays?
We might see it. That's what he did. He did that like yesterday or the day before, you know? That was how he opened up against Sue. And
Did he open Void Ray back then? Like
he
at
went.
first
I think he went Oracle, Void Ray.
Okay, I
or
think that
Oracle
makes
Void
more
Ray.
sense, to be honest, because then you can harass drones, and then you still have like a lot of control.
You see the Stalker being made? I think that points more heavily towards Void Ray. It means he's going to go Oracle first at least.
There it is. There's the Oracle. Well done, Dan.
Artosis is such an expert.
Wow.
What a pro.
Best
He's
guy.
making the thing that hits air, so Artosis knows he's not going to get the other thing that hits air. He's so smart.
Dan, how long have you been in Korea now? Like, how many years has it been?
11.
Good.
I know.
Do you feel more Korean than American?
I don't feel like anything, man.
Yeah, you're just like
I feel like a man-child that still talks about video games. I don't fit in anywhere, guys.
I think that
I'm like one of the broken toys in that old Santa Claus movie.
the Island of Misfit Toys.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
With the abominable snowman.
Mm-hmm.
Spore will be.
Todd is the dentist elf.
I don't even know what that is, but I'm gonna assume it's not there. Oh my God! There's no Spore.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
There are two. There are 2 queens, though. That's enough to chase the Oracle away. Gonna pop down to this third expansion, take a couple of hits, but pick up a couple of drones on
I like
his
that.
way out.
He could have gone for the natural, seeing that there was no Spore, but he's like, you know what? There's not gonna be a queen in the third base. Goes there, boom, 2 drones.
Look at this. You see the quick observer? See, this new patches are so much fun. You never actually see anyone get an observer this quickly, but I think what we're going to see is some creep denial.
Okay.
Like
Oracle flying around.
Yeah, like maybe just go zap some of the tumors because you can't
Can you
cancel them
elaborate
anymore.
for those that maybe haven't read the patch notes?
So one of the new patches is when you're having the creep tumor jump, you can no longer cancel it if it's under attack. That's a very common tactic for Zerg players is if it's under attack, you cancel and then you re-jump it.
Once it's
but
made,
now it
it's
just
made.
gets killed, and that's it.
Yeah.
So denying creep is something that you don't see that much from Protoss, but now that there's a way to actually do it, maybe it'll be something that gets blended in.
Is Solar getting aggressive here, or is he anticipating
Yeah.
an attack?
Yeah, he is
Lings
actually.
and Roaches on the way, so he is getting ready to. This might actually go really well for Solar. We see Stats
Yeah.
pushing out. He's going to be out on the map when this hits.
I think Solar's looking to try and catch this army, kill it, and then counterattack and kill Stats.
This is kind of a popular build on this map, but I always see it done when they've taken the rich gas third, so kind of interesting like that.
Solar's going around. Stats has no vision of these units right now. He might just get completely caught off guard. The Oracles need to get lucky and spot this. Solar's going to pounce on this army here. He's trying to force a recall. There's force fields available, but he has Ravagers. I don't know,
You know what?
Kev.
Those Ravagers are going to try to crack these force fields, and that army's going to push forward. But so far, Stats doing a pretty good job of playing position. Ling's also trying to poke in here to the natural. They're not going to have any luck. As we see the defense beginning to pause. Man, that's a lot of Zerg units streaming across.
Solar's all in.
Solar's all in, yeah.
45 walkers to 58. This needs to work here. Otherwise, he would be down 0-2 in this best of 5.
Not a spot you want to be in. And this has me questioning whether or not Solar has much confidence in his
He should
PvZ
just
right
recall. He stats recall here. I think he defends.
What in the world is going to happen? These units are all trapped.
Oh, the Biles are going to be strong. Look at this. Or they're going to hit the Zerglings. Oh, my God.
Still, though, this Protoss army actually...
It seems like he's going to break the third, and now he's lost a bunch of probes, so maybe there is some
I think
continuation.
Stats misread the situation. He was really trying to save that base.
Yeah.
Now he's going to lose a very important
Yeah.
immortal, and Solar's breaking through here. There's nothing left.
Yeah, this is starting to look bad, and Solar is going to take it for 2. Stats taps out. Those are 2 really kind of strange and anticlimactic games there.
Yeah.
He had already just recalled.
Yeah, he recalled back to
Okay,
his
I was
natural when he was out in the middle of the map.
I think if Stats truly understood what was happening, he would have evacuated the third and defended on the natural with shield batteries. And if he could do that, then he would just win
It
the
seemed
game.
kind of straightforward, though. Like,
Well, we
Ravagers
see
in
the whole
middle of the
map. We don't just see the soup. We also see the whole map and everything. So for us, yes, as a player in the game, you don't know if it's just a wave of Lings and Roaches to try and apply pressure and he's droning up behind it. Like the reaction against whether it's a pressure or an all-in is like completely the opposite, right? So I can understand that.
Is it a mistake by the Protoss player to like keep that observer with his army and not push it forward and see what's going on?
Well, he was trying to get rid of some creep. I think when he turned around and started to go home, he should have sent it out, though, and kind of spotted what was going on. There's, like, no reason to bring it home. What are you?
Like,
You afraid there's going to be something burrowed at your base?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what? It's
I think
not.
some of these players have played a bunch of games already against one another on the PTR. This honestly felt like Solar was counting on this to happen. For Stats to move out, try and deny the creep,
Oh, yeah, maybe.
catch him, and then go for the counter attack. And even, honestly, even his Stats had recalled into the natural and try and defend there, I still think that would have been a very dangerous attack here by Solar because he had so much.
I think if he had brought his whole army to the natural, he lives for sure. But the third goes down for free, obviously. It's going to be very
But I think-
micro-intensive.
Yeah, Solar, it would be better for him to attack the natural, just leave the third because he's all in anyways, like on solo. drone.
Totally.
1-1, the score in the set now, guys. This is our first game of day 3 of Homestory Cup. We're down in the losers bracket with Stats versus Solar. We got a lot of games to go still, and looks like game 3 about to get fired up. We're jumping in. What was this map called? I'm just gonna stop. You guys can do the maps.
Say any map. It doesn't matter. It's like, oh, Cloud.
We're into the third map, and it's green. And in the top left-hand corner is our blue Protoss player. His name is, of course, Stats. And down in the bottom right-hand corner, the red Zerg player who's just evened up the series. 2 cheeky all-ins in a row from Solar.
What do you think after this? Are we going to be able to squeeze in an intro, or is just going to be Mr. Bitter the whole best?
Oh, it's going to be him, man.
You want
We're going to get our value out of Mr. Bitter today.
Yeah. After casting one single series on day 1, how many on day 2?
Okay.
Look, I thought the
plane
smart
ticket through
guys were
Istanbul is
supposed
not
to say-
free, okay? He's going to be doing intros.
You do the intros, I'll do the analysis. How about that?
Sure. Take it away.
Well, it looks like Protoss is mining gas.
Oh, look at that. He's right.
Fantastic.
Probably means he's going to tech up at some point.
In 2?
And,
Cybernetic score.
he's definitely going to make a Cyber Core, probably get Warp Gate. Then he'll drop either a Stargate or a Robo, but probably a Stargate.
That's actually
Yeah.
What I would have said.
Todd, you can go.
No, you need me for the intros.
That's true. You stay right there.
It is true. It is very true. How do you get so grumpy when you're sleepy?
I'm in such a good
Is
mood.
he always sleepy or?
This has been a weird series, by the way. Like super aggressive
Yeah.
Solar. Like I don't know what happened in their practice games, but he's not messing around. He's not only just going all in poker. He's also all in non-stop.
Yeah, I think this happens though sometimes on these new patches. People they're trying to figure out these new builds.
Yeah.
So things like older all-ins can be very, very strong because you're kind of like thinking very abstractly about what you want to do, and it's not completely refined yet. So you don't necessarily have like every branch of like, oh, in this situation with this build, I'm weak against this attack.
Yeah. I think game one was like, just like a silly cheese, like
Yeah.
the last one. But game two, I actually think it was a very well thought out build order by Solar. Like, it had a
You're
very high
convinced he
chance
was-
of success.
You're convinced he was like metagaming stats. You just think he knew what was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that Stargate, by the way, guys. And that Stalker tells us that he might make an Oracle next.
Yeah, look at you. God, I hope he makes a Phoenix.
Oracle on the way. Boom. Killing it.
Killing the game.
So maybe the same build coming out of stats once again. Maybe he thinks that this is a.
Wasn't
very
this
good
the
one.
map on which he tried the Void Ray to carrier?
That is true. Yeah, it is. So maybe we'll see that again. I would love to see it.
Well,
That's
a
like all I
more
want today.
refined version because, decision making, I guess. Because
Yeah.
back then, we were like, oh, this is amazing, this has potential, and then he just kind of died to lurkers and links, just like
Yeah.
breaking through super fast. And
Well-
it's actually a robo going down behind.
Is
him.
that a fast robo? It feels a little bit sooner than what we've been seeing.
Yeah, it's like similar to last game, I
Yeah.
think. Where actually no, yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, I think it's the same time as the last game. So maybe it is that observer once again to try to deny some creep. There's that second Oracle.
If Stats wasn't so good with his oracles, by the way, he could just kill the Cryptumers without having to move out. Just send the observer.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But he's so good that he actually uses a lot of the energy, and then he's like, oh god, like I need to move out with units to kill his Cryptumers. Oop.
Keeps it alive.
I was like, yeah, of course. I said he's good with his oracle. Here it goes.
Wow, 2 kills and in the red. I'm good with Oracles too.
You would have lost yours.
Maybe. He still has time.
Once again, we see Lings streaming across the map, but this time there are drones behind it for Solar. He's scouted the third base of the Protoss player, and he's just trying to maintain a little bit of vision and map control as those Oracles keep trying to find an opening. This is cute, the way this Adept gets parked between a pylon. He's done this every game so far.
The bouncer.
Yeah.
Sorry,
he
guys,
is.
not going to be possible tonight.
Zerglings don't have ID.
They are not dressed appropriately.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Guys, those shoes are
naked.
just not allowed in the club.
No shoes. Now that's a skin we need for Zerglings. So yeah, this looks like pretty much the same thing coming out of stats. Trying to continue to harass, really not getting very much drone damage done though.
Oh, send back your drones to mine too early? Turns around. He's terrorizing him. Oh no, it's the same move.
Yeah,
out.
there's that move out.
Well, this time, okay, 10 links are going to start. As Solar sees the move out, I guess he decides whether, or like how many units he gets. Obviously, this might not be necessarily a big attack here. He's getting Glio Reconstitution this time.
Yeah, it seems like he's not doing quite the same build here, but does need to make some units, obviously.
Yeah, he's still adding drones. Evo Chamber's going down. Solar's finally going to play a macro game for us. Worker
wait.
count so close.
When would this move out ever be a real attack, you think? You know what would have been like insanely baller here from Solar is if it queued like 15 drones. It's like you're moving out, but I know it's just for the tumors. You're going to
Yeah.
run home after because you're scared anyway.
Well, that would be a really funny thing if people started to counter Stats' build with that.
Yeah.
Then suddenly Stats would probably start adding 7 gates behind it,
Yeah.
not making Probsters third.
Droned up a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Did we?
There is a bunch of gates that have just gone down for stats, but he's still probing. I think this is just standard mid-game stuff.
Yeah, everything looks pretty normal here for Stats. The infestation pit's actually already done for Solar. Ah, Swarm Hosts.
Oh, interesting.
So we're going to see a little bit of that older meta.
Are we going to see Nidus with this or no? I think Swarm Host is really great when you see them doing things like making sentries and immortals, because it's
There it is.
the Stats' build is a little bit slow right now. There's the Nidus.
You
All
can
right.
Nidus near the natural and third base kind of easily here. But once
Yeah.
you start doing it, Stats will, like once you do it on one of the locations, Stats will anticipate that it'll be at the next location on the other side after that. So he'll start adjusting already. In terms of army, Stats is at 45. He's making Archons and Charge Lots. So he's going to have some fighting capability against the Locusts. But if he starts on just kind of sitting at home and taking damage all the time, then it becomes really tough. How many Swarmos does Solar stop at? That's the big question.
Yeah, looks like 9 already out. I think he's making a couple more as well.
This feels like a pretty big Zerg army, like, all of a sudden. Wow, is he on 80 drones? No, sorry, I read that wrong. 66 drones.
Oh my god, you need glasses.
Thanks, Doc.
Oh, keeping that creep back a little bit. Oh, look at that. Catches the first Nidus.
Wow.
That's actually a big deal.
Was he waiting for this?
I guess so.
It's
Like
like
he
two
did.
common
He
locations.
saw the infestation pit, and that pairs with Nidus a lot. So maybe.
Contaminate. Map who wants to contaminate?
Yep,
There
there it
it
is.
is. He was
Slowing
waiting
down
for
the
it.
storm as we see a little bit of a fight here in the middle
You
of the
can
map.
force field and recall. Or you can just lose everything. Okay.
Yeah, losing the sentries is a good move as well.
I think you just...
This is not enough Zerg.
You might not have recall. Yeah, and also he has enough somehow.
Ooh,
Always
how about
try-
this? They're going to
okay,
be
I
trapped
see.
in there.
I see.
Are they though?
They're trapped in here with them.
Wow, the Nidus is.
You're
You
trapped
can
in here
really
with
see
me.
the nerf in action there. This would have killed him on the last patch, I think.
It was because the units would unload faster.
Oh, hold on. Chill. Let me chill here. He's still killing him with it.
Yeah, this is looking pretty bad for Stats. He's losing fights on 2 fronts. Although with this big warp in, it's going to push back the roaches, and he does clean it up in the main. Where'd the Swarm Host go? They still in the Nidus?
Yeah, I think he got him out of there. Look at this. Everything's getting kind of low over here. Those Archons are so low.
Yeah. What a great job by Stats, though, of really denying these Niduses.
Well, not the one in the main base.
Nah, he didn't take that much damage.
That was a pretty poor job. Sorry. How many Swarmos are already across the map? None, right? Yeah,
I think they're all at home.
I think they're inside the Nidus.
Yeah, so if
Yeah,
he keeps denying, they're like, all right, we
I know,
can't do
right?
this. We can't do this. We need
He's
to
just
run
not
there,
fighting
boys.
with half of his army at the moment. It's just sitting in a Nidus.
They're just gonna run there.
How much supply is the Swarm Host? Is it 3? 4?
3, right?
Oh my god. We need some expert analysis on this desk, guys.
My God. How don't we know this?
Another big fight happening at the base of Stats' third base as we see Swarm Host pushing back the Archons and the Immortals as the Roaches and the Lings push up into the natural.
Every time Stas is caught in this kind of position, I'm like, he should recall. But I'm like, he doesn't have infinite recall. he needs to fight here right now.
He just got the prism right there.
This Zerg army is really big. Another big warp in coming, and wow, shut down by the Ravagers, but finally with his units in position, Stats able to push back the Zerg forces.
I guess he canceled Storm earlier. There's no way he contaminated for this many times that it's only now finishing. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, he got the
he killed-
actual
killed
Templar
the
Archives.
Archives, yeah.
Yeah, very important Storm against this. If you can land a couple Storms on the Locust.
Well, with no splash damage right now,
Yeah. Oh my god.
that's
Storm.
brutal.
This feels like this is a moment in the game where like a lot of the time you're going to have Blink, but now you don't have Blink, so you're like, oh god, I got to run back.
Yeah, and with these locusts coming
Yeah.
up right now.
Look at the supply. 190
Look at
to
it.
100. Not bad, Yawn. I know that's your line.
Look.
IDK, Yawn. Locust jumping on
Whoa.
that Immortal, and it's going to go down, and this feels like the end for Stats.
No,
We are
because
getting
he's
there.
got positive thinking. Storm just finished.
Well, do
They
we have
don't-
mana for that? No?
Come on.
You Templar, and
Positive
there's that
energy.
first storm.
The Immortal, run! No!
Mortal goes down. This is all Stalkers,
Oh.
Templars, and
He's
a
about to have
single Archon.
Blink and +2.
But you look at all these Swarm Hosts, man. It's just like infinity Locusts coming.
Infinity Locust.
Infinity.
Almost.
Maybe the next Avenger.
It's gonna feel like infinity during this next attack.
They're not gonna have
Infinity Locust. Now that's the real bad guy. Thanos did not compared to Swarmos.
Stats is able to snap, and all those Locusts disappear. But so does the third base, and he's gonna tap out. GG. Solar goes up 2-1 in the series in the first real macro game that we've seen.
Yeah. Solar using kind of an older style there. Stats, you can see he's trying to utilize some of the new abilities like getting rid of creep a little bit more effectively.
I thought your
Solar's a
point
good
about like old styles working well in new patches was really smart.
Thanks.
Because like you know your progression versus
Yeah.
having to guess.
Thing is, you're not going to learn a whole lot with that, I think. Like, Stats is going to learn more per game, but if
Yeah.
you're just putting out solid games and you beat him, it's like, well,
Just trying to like
I'll learn
knock
when I
a
get
noob
home.
out of a tournament.
yeah, yeah.
It's kind of weird that this did this well, because usually if you defend the first Nidus convincingly, then after that all you have to do is really shut the next ones down. So really it's the one in the main base that was like the first breach that triggered the avalanche. Domino effect.
He also had his army out on the map. He was fighting
Yeah,
with all
that,
the roaches
the
and
fights at the
Ravagers.
bridge
Yeah.
were a little bit weird.
He got overconfident, I think.
Yeah, he was split up for
It
the,
was
for
like,
the whole time.
I'll have enough back at home to keep on killing Niduses, and then I'll apply pressure at the same time. But
But then one finished and it was all over.
Yeah.
Well, it was the
the
beginning.
floodgates were open. It's like Cologne
Storm
in the old
wasn't
days.
finished.
Cologne in the old days.
Yeah,
The floodgates.
yeah, that's what they always say, the boys, when they went out. They took that first
Oh.
beer and then
Ah,
the
the
floodgates are open. The
floodgates.
first calls. Once you finish it, it's over.
Yeah.
2 on the score. Game 4 getting set up as we wait. So Solar on the verge of knocking Stats out of the tournament. Stats, who went 11-3 in his group. 11-3, good enough for first in Group A, Group B, and Group D.
Send him to lower bracket.
All right, isn't that funny?
We would send him to lower bracket, not knock him out of the tournament.
No, this is lower bracket.
That is really funny. Look at that. Yeah, no,
Oh my
this is.
God, what is it like? How does that feel?
Todd, could you give us some intros, please?
I just figured we would start by the winner's bracket. All right, starting in the top left.
You're
against
fired.
the Blue Protoss on Acropolis. It is Barcode. No, it's Stats. It's Stats, guys.
That was great. That was so good.
His opponent in the red playing Zerg. Give it up for Solar.
Much better. You're a regular Joe Rogan.
I wish. Chosen.
Who is esports Joe Rogan?
Faceless.
Is
Well, he kind of has the voice. He has the hype.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the money or the martial arts skill. Not much.
Well, you have those and the tattoos.
Yeah, but I don't have the hype or
Yeah,
the
that is
voice.
true. Yeah.
I got a very childish voice compared to Joe Rogan and Tasteless.
Yeah.
Would take me a lot of hot water like you guys drink.
You just got to
Pull
start
that one up.
smoking, man.
What?
You should smoke until you have that, like, raspy thing
Tasteless
happening.
stopped smoking, and that's why he gained weight. There was this one thread that we talked about last time. It's so sick, the stuff that you will read sometimes.
Yeah, the internet's a kind place, isn't
There's
it?
so many things I want to say about that, but like, I feel like it's inappropriate for broadcast.
No doubt.
Then again, there is not much that is, really.
It's Homestory Cup. It's fine. No, because I was gonna roast Roddy, and I can't do it. He's not here.
Hey, you've been smoking quite a bit yourself, haven't you?
Not in 24 hours.
Yeah, but before that.
Todd's been giving me so much shit. I get to Homestory Cup and I have some smokes with the
Bro.
boys. And Johan's like, "What is this? I cannot believe this. You're smoking constantly. You're a chimney."
Most of this building is no smoking, and Mr. Bitter was swimming. He was smoking a cigarette while swimming earlier.
I was just living my best life, Todd.
Oh, you guys. You silly, silly guys.
I'm sure the lifeguard was loving it.
Lifeguard didn't give a damn.
So what are we looking at this game, boys?
Take it away, Bitter.
Looks like we got a
What is he
very
gonna make out of this,
standard
Stargates?
early game. Once again, Stargate. No Stalker this time, though.
Yeah, it looks different from before.
And Solar, on the other hand, doing pretty much the same thing we've seen every game. Getting fast 3 bases, getting that Zerling speed. Phoenix opening. It's the Roddy build.
Well, he
Phoenix
would need to
plus
get
a
plus
go.
1,
All right.
which not many Protosses are good enough to do.
I haven't seen much Mutalisk this weekend. Like, what did we not make Mutas anymore? Is that no longer?
No, it's actually regained popularity this year. We've been seeing a lot more Mutalisk plays, but yeah, haven't seen too many this weekend.
I was convinced back in the day that Mutanitis was going to be a thing.
It's become a thing this year.
Always ahead of
This
that.
year. Way ahead. So far ahead, we could actually just say you were wrong, and now things are All right,
I
so
get a quick robo.
yeah, it's like kind of similar,
It's the
but
same build, but with a Phoenix instead.
yeah, and 2 Adepts to open instead of a Stalker. So
With the success that Solar had in the previous game, they started to make an argument for not going again for similar style of Swarm Host.
This is a good map for him, too.
Or is there a bad map for Swarm Host?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, there is, but it's not in this map pool.
Metalopolis.
Did somebody just woo?
I was thinking the same thing.
I went to a UFC fight with Bitter earlier, and then people they always do that woo, and I was like, I really dislike that. You know, it's like super noisy. It's like not cool. What does he do? He starts doing it next to me immediately.
Gotta do it.
I was like, I hate you.
And you know what? By the end of the night, you know what Todd was doing? Woo!
Oh, was it? He kept harassing me to do it. I never did it.
There wasn't just any fight, man. That was Conor Khabib. Ooh.
No, the first time we did it was New York.
It was New York?
Yeah, when we went to the one card in New York with Khabib versus Quinta.
I don't think I came to that one.
Bro, you got the tickets.
I did?
I love that you guys, neither of you even know what you've done. It's really interesting. It's like, no, you were there. No, was I? That's weird.
I really got the tickets? Yeah. Doesn't sound like me.
Oh, he does.
Guys, he lost his first Oracle getting nothing done with it.
Well, I mean,
It's not looking super hot for stats right now.
Listen, Altosis, we're trying to figure out which fights we're at.
No, that is true. That is true.
We got
You guys need to get out your little
we got real pressing
daily
matters.
planners and figure this out.
Ling run by, so what wasn't looking good for stats suddenly looks a little bit worse. Only losing a couple of probes, but denies a lot of mining time down there at that third base. Oh, one more goes down. It's a nice effective harass here from Solar, who's up about 12 supply and about 8 workers.
Oh, and there's that infestation pit.
So Swarm Host again.
I think so. I think so.
+1 ring.
Well, he's looking at this, right? And it's like, well, you have an Immortal in like 2 centuries, so you know it takes a long time to build that army up enough to attack.
Here's
so
the
why
thing
not?
About Nidus Swarm Host, it's like very momentum based. You need to have like one of the first few ones walking. And the first one usually will be around 12 o'clock around the main base. So you send in the Flying Locust from there. Yeah, around the area. He's already sending in the Overseer.
Yeah.
And then this sets the whole rhythm for all the next waves. Then you hit the third base from under it.
Yeah.
And the trick is really in the execution, right? You want to put the Nidus close enough that the Nidus are going to have maximum impact, but not so close that it's going to die when it goes down. So you need to calculate the distance perfectly. And Solar's very good at that.
Yeah, I've always thought of him as a very cognitive Zerg, very smart player. So that
That's
Nidus
a big
coming
compliment
up.
from you.
Hmm?
That's a big compliment from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't heard you use that word super often.
Yeah, it's I think it's true though. Like I never think of Solar as a rushing Zerg. I never think of him as a macro Zerg.
Yeah, like a mechanic god or something.
He's actually the first guy that introduced Lingbane Hydra at the pro level.
Way
against
back in
Protoss.
a million years ago?
Like yeah, in like 2000.
I remember you talking about that in like the beta. Lingbane Hydra in every matchup.
Yeah, well, it was very strong for a little bit.
All right, well, if I could expect where the Nidus was going to be, stats sure as hell could as well.
Well, he did this last game, and it did not end up mattering.
Yeah,
Oh, a Void Ray.
Interesting. He's
Is
not
that
out
just
the
on
match
Nidus
this time.
duty?
He just lost the game. No. Yeah, I think if he leaves that on patrol around 12 o'clock, that's really great, because this alone can shut down the Nidus super well. But now the Nidus is going to be around that third base. He comes in, and that's going to be another snipe. Stats with the perfect defense so far.
This is a pretty good-looking Protoss army, pushing back the Roaches and Ravagers, and like you said, he's been unable so far to get a Nidus off. Finally, it looks like one might finish, this time behind the Protoss army, so potentially setting up a nasty flank.
Yeah, I mean, it's really far this time.
Stats seems to know, though. He's getting out of there. He doesn't want to mess around with it.
You know, as soon as you get one up, it's just so scary for the Protoss because
Yeah.
they have to go deal with that, and then you can get another one up.
But now it was really delayed to the point where Stats already has 80 army supply. The Void Ray, here we go. Oh my god. What was the Immortal doing down there? What the hell?
Solar's maxed out. This is a lot of Zerg army, and you know, flirting with the bottom of the Protoss ramp. Here comes the Swarm Host. Another Nidus going to go down. Queen's going to deal with the Void Ray and spread creep.
Oh, he doesn't have the energy. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Guardian Shield is so important here.
Yeah, this is really bad. He just lost a lot of his.
Oh, he trapped a lot of
important
roads.
Those are pretty good force fields, though.
And there's no cozy fight.
Well, we're gonna have another swarm of locusts here in a moment.
Well, in a while.
Reinforcements just streaming across.
You say in a while, but you just watch those.
What's the
it's
difference
not that
between a
long.
moment and a while? It's a fair question.
We're getting away from a moment. It's getting into a while.
It's been a while.
Whoa! Are they asleep?
Locusts.
I don't,
There they are.
Those queens were trying to save that Nidus. Like it was the last thing they ever needed to do, and it was. That was amazing.
Oh no, this is bad.
What's
Hey.
up, boys? Want a massage?
Oh, Roach is in the third base.
Oh my God.
Huge force fields this time, and a
He's not
mean
bringing-
storm right on top. So that's going to do a good job of pushing Solar back once again. Where's the next Nidus? Where are those swarm hosts? Man, this Protoss army is actually getting kind of smacked. And,
It's hard to fight defensively against this type of army.
Yeah.
You know, with the Locust swarms coming in and the Roaches are pretty cheap. It's just, it feels like Solar's just kind of grinding him down. Look at that army supply.
Look at it. 66 to 128.
Yeah.
But obviously, both Roaches and Swarmhosts are very supply inefficient. So,
Yeah, Ravagers as well.
so you're supposed to be very far ahead in supply. Oracle going to work. Oh, the last queen died. So those guys are going to get chased now. Oh, he should have gone for the Swarmhost.
Well, you'd have to deal with that. Now the Queens pop out.
oh, he's going to take out the Robo.
Now the Twilight. Oh, Blink.
my
Oh, Blink
God.
just completed before that died.
Ooh,
Lucky.
very important.
This is just an interesting fight. The Protoss players done a good job so far of kind of keeping Zerg from inflicting critical damage, but the supplies are still very heavily Zerg favored, 196 to about 150. Army supply 80 to 130. Zerg way more mobile and continuing to find openings. Looks like he's going to be able to deny this fourth base now.
Yeah, Solar is applying tremendous pressure. This game is insane.
Yeah.
Sniping the fourth now. The Swarmhosts are around the main base. I think he's getting ready
Yeah.
to send these in. And in the meantime, because Solar's not really losing that many expensive units, he's building a bank, he's going into Greater Spire, getting some static defense back at home. And it's
Yes,
just looking really
yeah.
scary in this game.
This Protoss playstyle just doesn't feel like it can. It's too mobile, too much mobility for the Zerg player, too much
Yeah.
high tech, too many efficient units that are just.
I think you have to be more aggressive against
Yeah.
this type of play. It tears apart a defensive Protoss, as you can see.
Can't have this on your doorstep.
I think the problem is that if he moves across the map while Zerg is so close to his base, then you ignite the base trade
Yeah.
so much later, which you don't necessarily want
Yeah.
to have happen.
Oh, Stalker's going to get caught out. They do have Blink, so. Oh, wait.
Without being before
I
dying.
don't know why they went that. Oh, that's where the army is.
We join the rest of the army. I'm surprised Solar's still fighting against this.
Yeah, he's going to get out.
Yeah, he's like kind of fighting until the Lings or the Locusts go away for the most part, just picking off anything he can because he does have that advantage. I think
Solar's-
trading even slightly inefficiently is strong here.
I
He's
kind of want
keeping
to see
stats low on
this law.
supply by just sieging like this all the time. That's why stats on 153 only.
That's crazy. He's Locust. It's a good defense, though. Is he gonna, oh, again, Twilight Council's going to go down.
Not like this. Don't remake it
There's
there
always
again,
some.
please.
Feels for stats. Down to 52 workers. Solar doesn't actually have the biggest eco, though, now looking at it. He's got 63 drones on the map on 4 bases. So
Yeah, but he's not losing that
effectively
many
mining at a
units.
3.
It's going to build up. That's why, I mean, he just spent a bunch of minerals and gas on Broodlords, which stats is seeing.
There is a fleet beacon on the way, but what are you going for to actually try to counter this? I think you just have to start attacking right now.
He needs to push back Creep, first of all. And I think, oh my god, he's lost a mothership. Not like this.
Broodlords are out.
Toilet back in the game or something?
Bring it back. Oh my God, this army just it just feels insurmountable right now for stats. He's still trying to reestablish economy and get mined up. Solar, what's he making? Spores, spines? Okay, so he's down to 60 drones now. Army supply within about 30. As we see Roaches once again trying to harass this main base or third base.
Yeah, they'll clean that up.
Yeah, so with the creep spread being pushed back, now stats are... Wait, did he remake a Robo?
Yeah, no, he did.
So I think a Prism and a couple charge loss to keep the Zerg back at home and abuse the lack of mobility might be really good. He's getting +1 air weapons, so I think Tempest...
How's he
Gonna be
supposed to
the
kill the
plans.
Broodlords? Just blink?
No, I think he needs to
Never gonna work.
counter-attack. That's why he's out on the map.
Yeah.
He knows that he can't take on this army. Look, he's going to do 2 groups of units. Immortals and the slower chunk of his army at the bottom. He forces the Broodlords back.
Yeah, and look at this. The
Yeah.
Broodlord's chasing them. He can actually try to hit somewhere else. Cancels at 5th base.
That's nice.
So that's something. And look at this. Starting to move up towards the 4th.
And the
that means
Immortals are about to
Stalkers can
hit
come down.
the 4th base.
Yeah. Unfortunately, over here, he doesn't really have anything to stop the main Zerg army.
Yeah, Solar's managed to split up his
Oh,
Broodlords.
oh my god, if he went for this Broodlord.
Effectively allowing him to defend on 2 fronts while he attacks on a 3rd.
Oh, you
Oh,
mean
good
called?
storms though,
Ooh.
denying access to that Nidus. He's going to catch every one of
Where are
these
you going?
Swarmhosts. That's the play he needed.
Where are you going, you big mushrooms? That's so amazing, actually. Oh my God! And now he catches
another
the
huge
Stats
pickup. This
everywhere.
is what we need. Stats bringing it back, taking out a lot of valuable Zerg units, and Solar does not really have the eco to trade like this.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, he went down to those 60 drones, like you mentioned, and now Stats actually has his 4th up. Not that he has a great economy himself, but he does have this very mobile army.
Yeah.
Comparatively, at least.
Not the hero we deserve.
We need some hero storms coming up here.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get them as well. Archon
Yeah.
at the front, mothership.
Oh,
There's no
there's
oversteer.
no detection.
No anti-air
Oh my
either.
God!
There's no detection.
That's Solar's vision, guys.
Oh, and then the bios just kill everything. Sick.
He sees a giant.
Oh, the
blur.
poor immortal.
He sees a giant blur chasing him. Now he sees the Stalkers. He's gonna turn around. Stalkers trying to get on top of these Broodlords. The Void Ray doing a ton of work.
Still no detection. That Void Ray pushes forward. The Zerg player forced to run all the way back. Here comes a couple of Queens to transfuse this army, but there's still no Overseer. Finally, they arrive, but not before losing a lot of units, a lot of very expensive and valuable units, and still the army of Predators pushes forward.
Solar actually makes it to his static defense, and now the question is, does Stats actually want to push into this? It's kind of tricky. I don't think he needs to be honest. He's dealt some damage. He's lowered the Broodlord counts. Like I said, I think a Prism now would be nice, and he can just, this time around, expand so much more easily. How many Broodlords are left? He's getting 5 more.
His eco is like so
Not
good
5.
by comparison. There's a 5th base now going down. Army supply within 40. And our Protoss has a very strong fighting army now.
I think it's really important for Stats to get something like a Prism out right now.
Yeah.
Like, he really needs to keep pressure on, like Solar was doing to him before. And, I mean, this is a great attack, for instance. He's poking in the side.
He's doing that without a Prism right now somehow.
Yeah, yeah, but imagine if he had a Prism down at the bottom, or maybe even some units running in towards the 4th base area.
Because Solar doesn't have a crazy amount of roaches.
Yeah.
This is
round
turning
army
into
to
a
get.
sick game, guys. Like, there's still
Yeah,
like,
it's-
multi-prong action everywhere.
Did he cancel the carrier? I saw a carrier in production, and he's getting 2 more targets. Yeah, okay, so he canceled. Might just go into
Is
Tempest.
this base going to go down? If those roaches would target the Nexus, it might. Whoa, Corruptors, where are you going?
Yeah, trying to go for caustic spray, I guess, on one of the main buildings. Scouting
Yeah, a little
around. I think
scout
he
out
wanted to
there.
see the air transition if it was there. Whoa! I don't know if you want to fight this stats. Corruptors are going to get on top of the mothership. Does he
Mothership
recall?
4. Gonna get called out.
Time
Nice
warp.
Storm's gonna go down.
Yeah, Time Warp's good.
Ooh, but the Mothership will fall. Somewhere Roddy is celebrating.
Stats is kind of trapped there. Maybe he needs to recall elsewhere. I don't know if he can fight against this. He's trying to run away. Oh my God, he's cornered.
It's getting bad. Nexus is gonna fall. Blink forward underneath the Broodlords. Ravagers and Roaches gonna force these Stalkers back. 2 Lings streaming in to join the fray. Stats will hold for now, but he's in a lot of trouble.
Pulling all the way back right now. Did lose that Nexus. This one's pretty low as well.
I think Stats got caught off guard by this siege here. He probably thought that there was no way Solar was going to move out, and then he realized too late, was kind of backed into a corner here on that 5th base.
Ooh.
Now, he's just lost so much double. The army supply is going to do a desperate bid forward.
Commits to the fight. Stalkers blinking ahead, clicking on a few of those Broodlords, but it's not gonna be. Whoa, it is gonna be. The easy comes down. A little bit of bad manners, and a couple of tears. Good game is the call, and Solar